Hey everyone, and welcome to another No Man's Sky guide. Today I would like to show you a new technique on how to build a base in low orbit. But before we do that, we need to have a little talk about this. It is really necessary you watch and listen to this video carefully and make sure you understand everything I'm explaining in this guide. There are many preparations and conditions you need to follow up to make sure this project succeeds. In comparison with my previous low orbit guide, where we jumped off a frigate into the planet's atmosphere, this time we will be starting again from the planet's surface for this guide. Therefore, it will be important for you to start your first step from the correct location. A planet's surface is not linear and will have different altitudes. While it might seem a good idea to start from a higher point to speed up this process, it is quite the opposite. The best planet to use this technique on is a planet with water, as the water level will give you the best indication of where the ideal starting point is. If you have no water on your planet, you will have to find low points in the terrain to improve your chance of succeeding. The reason we need a low point will become clear enough once we have our foundation set up for the low orbit base. Once we come to that, I will be able to explain it in more detail. I will also be talking about manual saving, auto saving and free placement, so please take note of these terms as they are important for your success. So let us jump in our ship and see if we can find ourselves a nice canyon to start the tutorial from. In the meantime, I would like to thank AVGRG for sharing this technique, and I will be sharing a link to their channel in the description. So as said, when building on a planet without water, the best thing to do is find yourself the lowest point possible, and a canyon like this would be perfect for it. Well, would you look at that, isn't that nice? I definitely like these deposits that are like half into the wall. It reminds me of the olden days. I do miss them. I mean, No Man's Sky looks amazing now, but I miss the terrain generation from the old versions, when you had these iridium pillars. Good old No Man's Sky. Alright, so now let's see if I can find a power hotspot. B-class, not bad. There should be one actually right... I think it might actually be up there though. But we should be okay. Let's see how far we can get, how close we can get to that hotspot. 213. Wait, is this power? Yes, it is power. So I'm 150 U away from that power hotspot in that direction. So, okay, I'm not gonna go to the core of the hotspot because I want to stay in this valley. This location should count as being underwater, which means that my chances will be improved of succeeding with this technique. So this will be something you have to do as well. You will have to find the ideal altitude, see if this technique is working, and if not, you will have to relocate and do this again. If you're not too keen on this way, then I would definitely recommend checking out my other guide where I jump off a frigate. In my opinion, it is still the most reliable technique so far. But anyway, let us drop a save beacon here. As with every low orbit guide I have made so far, I will once again stress the importance of doing a manual save before you continue doing anything else. This will be the only manual save we do until we are content with the results of the first step of this technique. All the remaining other saves we will be doing, like claiming your base computer or jumping in and out of your ship, will be registered as autosave. So if any mistakes are made along the way or you end up with a base out of the planet's boundaries, you will be able to reload that manual save and begin again. After you save manually, the next step will be building the base computer. But before we do that, I want to explain to you a little bit more in detail what we will be doing in the first 10 seconds after claiming the base computer. For this technique, we will be using the animation that happens after you claim a base computer. If you recall, when claiming it, the camera zooms out while doing a scan of the surroundings. The same happens when you would use a signal booster, so let me quickly show you this so you have an idea of what I mean. So when activating it, you can see the same animation where the camera zooms out and a scanning circle is shown. It is during this short animation that all the magic will happen. Alright, now we will be doing the same with the base computer. First of all, we want to make sure we have enabled free placement. You can see the icon right there, the third last of your navigation bar. You just press the button that is shown below it. That way the game will remember that free placement the next time you build a new part. If you forget or you somehow disabled it, you can easily enable it again with the same button. Alright, let us build the base computer now. The first thing the base computer will do is check the surrounding area if any other bases are already claimed or built before giving you the building rights. If everything checks out, you will have the option to claim base. Just so you know, once you claim the base, your base is immediately claimed. The animation afterwards is just that, a little animation showing you the area. This means that once the button is pressed, you have access instantly to the building menu. So the plan here is to enable your building menu straight away after claiming the base computer. The plan is to build a landing pad during this animation. Once the animation started, I will freeze the scene for a bit so I can explain it all. So, claim your base and immediately go into your building menu. Select the landing pad and wait for the right time. Okay, I'm gonna freeze this moment right now, just to prepare you for the next step. There is a slight moment where the zoom pauses for a while before zooming back into the planet's surface. This pause is quite short, but it should give you enough time to figure out if you're in free placement or not and enable it again if needed. At the moment the pause ends and the camera starts zooming in again, you need to count 2 seconds. The best way this is done is by counting 1001, 1002. At the second, you build your landing pad all while you're zooming back towards the planet. Once you have control over your character, you can check if you succeeded in building the landing pad. Okay, so let me do that right now. 1001, 1002 and build the landing pad. Okay, now we can check if we actually build it. And there it is. So let us jump in the ship, fly up to the landing pad and check if we succeeded. By exiting our ship, we automatically created an autosave, which is exactly what we need to check if we built the landing pad at the right height. So reload the game and let us see if the landing pad is still there. If the landing pad disappears, we will have to reload our manual save and do this once again. And the landing pad is gone. So reload the manual save and do this again. Either way, I'm pretty sure you understand how this technique works and how to use this to build a low orbit base. So, claim base, open up building menu, select landing pad, don't forget to enable free placement, 1001, 1002, built, and now we go and check it again. So normally when you're looking at the cloud levels, if you have cloud levels, you should normally be inside the clouds. You cannot really be on top of them. The clouds have to be kind of on your level. That should be a good indicator. So now we can just reload again. And there we go, we succeeded. The landing pad is still here, which means we are inside the planet's build limit. Now, if I open up my menu, you will notice that I do not have any building parts except for the standard ones. This means that the base computer down there, the one on the planet's surface, is too far to register the building rights. So even with the landing pad being registered to the base computer, the one we are standing right now, we have no building rights here. So that means we will have to build a second base computer and claim it again. But we'll only be able to claim this second base computer when the distance between these two base computers is more than 1060 U. That is why we need to build the first base computer as low as possible, preferably 25 U below water level. So that means we are not out of the woods just yet. Now we need to figure out if we build our first computer low enough. So let's build the second base computer right here and see if we are able to claim it. Alright, good. I was able to claim it. That means we have enough distance between them. Now that we have a base computer, we are now able to build again. However, the landing pad we are standing on right now is still linked to the base computer on the planet's surface. This means we need to build a second landing pad, so once we remove the first base computer, we always have a landing pad to return to. Curiously enough, the landing pads will snap but never connect once they are built. Well, yeah, it's two different base computers. So now it's time to delete the first base computer. So let us do a little base jump. Look at that view. So let's go into the second base computer. We can now just go in here and say delete base, which is going to delete the landing pad as well where our ship was on. That means now we have our new base computer in the sky with the landing pad there. That means now we can also call in our ship. And I'm just going to pick up this save beacon for the moment. So just be aware again that we have not done any manual saves yet. We just have been doing the autosaves by just claiming base computers or jumping in and out of our ships. Again, do not do any manual saves until you're 100% sure you are happy with the location and there is no issues with the base computer. Alright, so yeah, as I told you before, we are in the middle of the clouds. And one of the reasons I prefer to build on empty or cloudless planets is just because these clouds mess up while you're either building or wanting to take a photo or videos of your base. You will see that once I go a little bit further with the camera, the clouds start clipping through the base parts or your ship, which just makes it ugly and really difficult to make great screenshots or videos when the clouds are involved. I hope one day we will see some improvements to the skybox so it will not affect us that much. Anyway, now that we have at least our base computer inside the planet's limit, we should try and figure out how much space we still have above us. And as we are sure that the current base computer and the landing pad are inside the build limit, it is now possible for us to build that manual save and use it. That way we create a new fixed point that can be used to return to after our last test. So now I would like to build a few walls upwards to see how much limit we have left to build. Let's just take some walls and I'm just going to place some walls here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. And do another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. Now that we have all these, we have now 20 walls. Let's jump in our ship again, make an autosave. And now we just reload the game once again so that we now can see, do we have 20 walls above this landing pad? Do I have enough area to build with? Okay, let's see how much we have left. So that's 10 and 1, so we have 11 panels left from the 20. So that means that some panels have become invisible. This means above this landing pad we have a limit of 11 walls, but we do need to take the curve of the planet into account. So that limit will be following that curve. So I would limit myself to be building about 5 to 6 panels in height above the landing pad. The rest of the base should be built below it. And that's not really a hassle anymore, as we now can move the base computer anyway, so it will not be like it's in the way or too far away to reach it once the build is done. But now we know that limit, we can now reload our manual save, which will bring us back to the point before we started building the walls. If you're not aware of that yet, if you have building parts that are built above the planet's limit, they simply become invisible, but they are not gone. So they will be added to your build count. This is why I reloaded my manual save to avoid that. Alright, that should be it for this tutorial. Once again, I would like to give a big thanks to AVG-RG, because this is a very smart technique and very quick. I would like to share one last piece of information though with everyone, that is that this technique can be rather fickle, so you might have to try this several times before you get the hang of it. So don't give up too quickly, just make sure you have your manual save to refer to and all should be fine. If you would like to learn other ways to build in low orbit, then I will share another guide on the screen right now. And if you're interested in more building related guides, then this playlist is probably also something you would like to watch. If you have any more questions or remarks, then you are welcome to leave them in the comments. As always, please leave a like if you found this guide useful, and I will see you again next time. This was Beeblebum. Goodbye for now.